Hey guys, it's Godbars here, the self-proclaimed hip-hop historian, and this is the 292nd episode of my series where I grab a vinyl from my collection, talk about why I love it, what influence it has, and what its place is in the grand scheme of hip-hop. So for today's upload, we are once again discussing Billy Woods on the page. In fact, this actually marks the fourth time I've covered an album of his, with the previous three being his 2012 project, History Will Absolve Me, 2015's Today I Wrote Nothing, which as I've pointed out numerous times on the channel is his magnum opus in my eyes. And I also discussed Brass, his absolutely stellar collaboration with More Mother that he dropped in 2020. And I'll link all of those reviews down below in the description if you want to fill yourself in on some of the Backwoodz Studioz lore. While for this review, I'm covering Billy's 2019 collaboration with Kenny Segal, which they followed up last year when they came together again to make their Maps LP. You may not recognize this cover even if you are familiar with all of the songs on Hiding Places. The reason for this is because I bought this special edition years ago, which uses alternative album art, and honestly, while I'm normally not a big fan of that, as I've mentioned in the past, especially when the original cover is one of my all-time favorites and they swap it for something that I often feel isn't nearly as creative, interesting, or representative of the experience the music gives you. This is one of the very few, maybe the only case I can think of where I actually prefer the updated cover to the original, though you really can't go wrong with either. I was already a massive fan of Billy Woods by the time this project was making its initial rounds, but the Known Unknowns LP he did with Blockhead in 2017 didn't quite blow me away like the 2015 masterpiece that came before it. So it was very exciting when he returned with this eerie, grimy, and experimental album that truly sounds like it was birthed from the shadows of a broken down project, where Billy is observing and writing down all the nefarious activities he's witnessing from his window. Also as ridiculously consistent as his pen and lyrical ability has remained over the decades, I think Hiding Places could be argued as a peak in his extensive career writing-wise, and there's honestly so many moments that exemplify this high point that I'm just going to get right into sharing some of my favorite bars from this LP, first in the form of a hook. I'm talking about the chorus for the opening track, SpongeBob, which has this lumbering, off-kilter beat where Billy shows us right off the bat how this isn't going to be the usual that we get from him, because he tackles the song with a passionate, in-your-face approach that sees him utilize a heavier and less subdued flow than we're used to, which he uses to deliver thought-provoking poetry as always. Really, this entire song is stellar lyrically from front to back, but there's one I love even more, so I'm reserving most of my room for that track, and just giving a small section off this one, starting with the killer hook, where Woods raps, SpongeBob, the whole operation underwater. It's only one God, what we said in Tora Bora, the bombs was on us, the bombs was on us. Came back to God like, motherfucker, you promised. You promised. But the only song I fuck with here more than that one is Checkpoints, which gives us a masterclass in how to build up momentum throughout an instrumental with what begins as a simple punchy loop, but keeps layering on more and more elements to create this eventual wall of sound. I want to share as many lyrics from this song as I feasibly can, since it's just so jam-packed with top-tier penmanship. And what better place to start than Billy's opening verse, which begins with, "If I haven't heard a word in 10 years, assume me dead, or guess to the feds, or cultivated a better class of friends. Not mad, tip the hat, fingers don't touch the brim, lid don't touch my naps, Andy Cap, go ahead, pencil him in. Last one standing, what he scream at the wind, at the end. At the end. Verses like something Fred Sanford said. Skits like, is he dead? While Shamik really laying in the street, dark comedy dog, I beat him in the head. Win what? I'm just trying to beat the spread. Quit my job to kick raps instead. It's a family meeting, everybody gotta start bringing in bread. I love the coded and innovative ways he chose to weave in material that influenced him into the verse I just read, like the subtle reference to the track Tears off the iconic Wu-Tang Clan debut. But we aren't stopping there, because Billy then continues on with shot the movie no script, scoured the heights no piff, came home like it's no recipes left, kids like no shit. Came home like a conquo at the end. At the end, homie just quit. Whitey finally in that spaceship like, so long and thanks for all the fish. I calmly rolled another Negro stick. Woman stopped me like there's still other shit to fix. True this is. Go ahead, I'll be up in a bit. I'm chillin' like Africans who never felt the whip. Dish served room temp Escovitch fish. Always better when you pry it out they cold dead grip. Grip. Haste the palace wing, dethroned king jump when the phone ring. Egyptian cotton, but you can't sleep, not a wink. Not a wink. You can't blink, not a wink. You can't blink, not a blink. Dethroned king can't sleep, not a blink. Then the beat sort of stutters out for a second before the epic last section where things really pick up with the instrumental swinging into full force and Billy Woods reaching the climax of his immaculate set of verses, spitting, "My goals is limited, just wanna be the best, just something to get from one day to the next. Best tour advice I ever got, you better off beating your dick. Reading your Bible, sweat beating on your lip. FBI agents listening, Dr. King motel bed spring, this some freaky shit. Freaky shit. Andrea Dworkin, back of my mind, can't get it in without internet. Connection, connecting against God. We form weapons, 79 they storm Mecca. The devil ambidextrous. Pony had one trick. No sweat. Watch plainclothes search for that elusive marijuana cigarette. Roulette wheels spin, no more bets. No surprise, the rich suggest you do more with less. Your revolution left the Negrorati unimpressed. Don't wait, dig the pits, purge the leadership. Don't hesitate, ain't no half-steppin', step to 'em like you know what it is. While Hiding Places was obviously largely produced by Kenny Segal, he did have a couple of talented contemporaries who lent their skills to this LP as well, including Blockhead and Mother Mary, the latter of whom is actually one of the few artists who has a guest appearance on the project, alongside Elucid, Billy's longtime musical partner from the duo Arm & Hammer, along with Self Jupiter, who not only is one of the core members of the legendary Freestyle Fellowship crew, but he too actually has a collaborative act with Kenny Segal, and they release music together under the name The Cleaners, which you should definitely check out. When it comes down to my top 3 favorite songs overall for this one, I think I would definitely have to go with SpongeBob, Checkpoints, and Spiderhole. Then for the extra recommendations, I want to give an honorable mention to tracks like Speak Gently, Steak Knives, Bedtime, Crawl Space, Toothy, and Red Dust. Thank you for watching my 292nd video. Next up, we have a super underrated collective that brought a fresh new face to alternative rap in the late 2000s and early 2010s. So look for that one, and if you enjoyed, be sure to like, subscribe, and let me know what your favorite songs are off yet another high point for this personal goat of mine. Don't forget to have a great day, and I'll see you next time, okay? Alright.